Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rico Tensai, and I like to speak my mind. Today, let's talk about self-validation. Now look, everyone wants to feel like they're doing something right in their life. And the most important person that you should care about is yourself. Of course, it makes sense, right? But sometimes when you're surrounded by certain people, you want to also kind of hear from them also that yes, you are doing great. Sometimes you might be surrounded by a lot of yes people, and all they're gonna do is just agree with you no matter what. Sometimes you're wrong, and look, I get it. You can look at life very subjectively because everyone has their own rights and wrongs and their own set of rules that they give themselves, and it's hard to get advice from people, and it's also hard to take certain criticism from other people because we don't agree with a lot of things. Some people say, well, I can't give an example, but it's just because if I give an example, you might think that that's considered wrong, but then I consider right, and then we have to go back and forth with the argument. I don't want to do that, but I do understand that it is hard to hear the truth, especially when it's coming from yourself, because that's where the trust, the instincts, come from, or like that kind of saying. I think that's where it comes from. Knowing that deep down you are doing something wrong, and you know you're doing something wrong, but because either you're ignoring that instinct of that, that I point to my stomach because I always get this weird nervous feeling that I'm doing something wrong sometimes, and that's how I know that something's off. Either face the truth of something, whether it's within myself or telling someone. I always get this nervous feeling of something. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's like if it feels like I'm about to break up with someone. That's what it feels like every time. It's that feeling. That feeling of something I need to say it. It might hurt some people, but I need to say it. And especially, it's worse when it's against myself. When it's against myself and I hear it, and then I'm like, ah, damn it. It's one of those it really is tough to tell yourself what you are doing wrong and how to fix it, but you have to do it alone sometimes. And I get that some people can't be alone, but they don't know how to be alone, and they always have to ask people their advice. And there's a limit. I feel like I've said this before, but there's a limit to asking people for advice and figuring stuff out on your own, because at the end of the day, you are left alone with the decision of yes or no. Do you decide to go to the certain place or don't go? And that's why I feel like we should kind of normalize and start getting used to doing solo trips and doing solo dates and just, treating yourself out, because sometimes instead of always waiting for people to do it for you or try to always ask people to go with you, just do it by yourself, because the longer you wait, the more frustrating you're going to be at just nonsense of just you're blaming other people for not being there for you when you should be there for yourself in the first place. And it's hard to practice, but the first thing you should probably do, honestly, the first thing you should probably do is start doing things by yourself. Or if you decide to want to go somewhere, just go somewhere. We always have to look up reviews or look up tips on how to where to go, and just sometimes I feel like where you want to go, but I feel like we rely on social media too much to get advice of like I said, more tips of how to travel, which is good. It's good, but sometimes I feel like you already kind of just know what you need and also where you want to go, and also don't make it seem like this is the last time you're going to visit somewhere. Just go somewhere, have an initial plan, and then learn from it, and then do it again. It's fine to continuously, mess up and try again. At least you tried. That's all I could say. But that's all I want to say about self-validation, trust your instincts. All I can say is it all starts with just doing little solo trips. It doesn't have to be a big trip. Just do little, just go somewhere to eat by yourself. It's not a big deal. So that's really it. But yeah, I feel like I have a lot of experience in being by myself because I always do it all the time. But like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 view, doesn't matter if it's 10 views. I appreciate anyone who's watching and or listening. And I'll see you tomorrow with a new topic.